Hey everyone, and welcome to this Wednesday version of FreightWaves Now, the day before Thanksgiving. Up first, Seth Holm going to give us some updates on truck orders, and then our carrier update presented by PowerFleet. So hey everyone, I'm here with Seth Holm. He's going to give us an update on what's going on with truck orders right now. So maybe some additional capacity entering the market?
Maybe so. Thanks, Zach. Today we're talking about October Class 8 truck orders. So those numbers came in at 22,000. If you look over here at my first chart in yellow, we had a big sequential uptick here in October. So for the first time, we're running close to our estimate of replacement demand, which is 23,000 trucks or 275,000 annually. Now there is some seasonality at play here. As you can see, every year except for 2018, it generally ticks up in October and November as people order their trucks for the next year. Now the fact that it was only down 50% year over year this month, and it's been running for the last year, it's been running down 70 or 80%. So while that is an uptick, one thing at play here is also comparison. So if you look right here in the green line, 2018 really fell off a cliff at the end of the year, so that's making for an easy comparison. Now, in terms of these truck orders, how they compare to our estimate of replacement demand. So this white line, this is 275,000 trucks annually. Now, if you take all the orders so far year to date and you annualize them, we're still only running at 170,000 trucks, which is about a shortfall of 4% relative to our estimate of trucks in the market.
So we may actually be
We do think the market may firm up in the back half of 2020.
All right, interesting stuff.
Yeah, and then I have on my second chart for you, right over here, this is Class 8 truck orders compared to DAT line haul spot rates. And as you can see here, it's almost perfectly correlated, Zach, going back the last 5 years. And this makes sense, right? When there's excess demand relative to supply, you've got high spot rates and people are ordering new trucks. So my takeaway here is we may need to see, you can see the little hook up here in this month's truck orders. We may, in order for this to be sustainable though, we may need to see a sustainable bounce in spot rates.
So we're about to hit peak season right now. So, you know, we may need to get another little boost here at the end of the year to sustain that. Yep. Good stuff. All right, thanks so much, Seth. Hey everyone, and welcome to your carrier update this day before Thanksgiving, brought to you by PowerFleet. So let's hop right on into it. I got the outbound tender volume index right behind me, along with our outbound tender lead time index, and that's going to tell you the amount of days between requested pickup date and tender order. So shippers right now are putting orders out roughly on average about 2.85 days ahead of time, ahead of the pickup. So what that means is all these volumes that you see surging here are for days after the holiday. So a lot of orders coming in for after Thanksgiving that are going to be sitting there ready for people to take care of. So tender rejection rates right now about 7.8% across the country. Behind me I have the outbound tender market share with the outbound tender rejection index weekly change. I'm going to show you guys a couple of good markets to look at for after the holiday, for when all these loads are potentially sitting around ready for somebody to take care of, because tender rejection rates are still slightly elevated compared to the rest of the year. Look at all these markets here. The taller markets are going to be the bigger volume markets. They're going to have higher opportunities for outbound loads. These ones in blue are going to be the ones where tender rejection rates are increasing or higher or elevated over the rest of the market. So you want to combine the tall market with the blue market to get the highest opportunity for utilization. Look at the Columbus market right here. We're going to dive on into that one. Columbus seeing tender rejection rates shoot up right in front of Thanksgiving, along with volumes. So a good market to target for after the holiday, especially since this is in one of those big corridors for freight. Indianapolis is right down the street, but this market right here looks like it's going to have the best opportunity for sourcing loads on the spot market, especially if you find yourself sitting out in the middle of the Midwest with not a lot to do except look at snow. Next market, this is going to be one of your smaller markets to look at, so I don't want to just tell you guys all about the big markets, which are obvious. This is a smaller market, Rock Island, Illinois, right around Davenport, Iowa. A lot of shippers concentrated around this market. Tender rejection rates shooting up to 23% over the last few weeks, along with tender volumes really spiking over the last few days. So if you really need to go out and try to make a good margin on a load, this Rock Island market is going to have some potential opportunity on the load boards. And that'll do it for today's carrier update. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving.